One of the reasons Go is such a cool game is you can place your stones wherever you'd like. There are no rules for each individual stone, but there are some rules you cannot break. By the end of this video, you'll know where you can't play. Okay, so now we're going to talk about where you cannot play in this video. So to review, let's put down a white stone and review what liberties are. Liberties are the spots around your stone where you could possibly play another of your stones. So in this case, we have 4 liberties. Recall that the diagonals do not count. It's only those that are adjacent to your stone. Those are the only points, in this case signified by the triangles, that are considered liberties. So now let's imagine that we have black in this shape and you are white. As white, you are not allowed to play right there. And the reason is that here you have no liberties. If one of these black stones was missing, you would be able to play there because, as we can see, there is 1 liberty. But if black was there, then white has no liberties. You cannot play there. You could also think about it as suicide, right? If you were here, you're an automatic captured. You're automatically captured. So it would be considered a suicide move, and that is not allowed. Now, looking at this shape, the question is, can white play here? The answer is yes, it can. Why? Because it has 1 liberty right there, so it does not break that rule, that liberty rule. So you can play white there. It's not recommended because, as we can see, black could go here, and then in that case, white would be captured. So there's little gain in white playing there. However, let's say it did play there. Could white play at point A after it plays that first move? And then in this case, the answer would be no. If white were to play at A, then we have broken the liberty rule, and it's essentially a suicidal move because there are no liberties belonging to that group of white stones, and so it would be captured. So it is not allowed to move there. So now let's imagine that these 2 right black stones are surrounded by these white stones. And we notice that these 2 black stones are now in Atari. If it is white's turn, then white can play. It can play at position A. By playing at position A, it then captures those 2 black stones. So there is an example of where it could have played at point A. And looking at it more closely, it is not considered suicide because by moving there, although those 2 left stones appear to not have any liberties, in that move you are capturing the 2 black stones and gaining for those 2 marked white stones a set of liberties right there. So it may appear as if it's a suicidal move, but if by putting that stone there you capture and you gain 2 more territories, or however many more territories, then it is not considered suicide and you can move there. Let's look at another example of this idea. Here we have 8 white stones surrounding a center point. If black wanted to move in the center, it could not, because here you can see black has no liberties. You would not be allowed to move there. However, let's say that we have these 8 stones completely surrounded by black stones. What we now have is the white stones are in Atari. 1 move of black will capture all those stones, and black now can move in the center, thus capturing all these white stones. So let's look at this problem. Can white play at position A? In this case, it can. By putting a stone at position A, both of them have 1 liberty. It's not advised, but it is possible. Can white play at this position? Again, white can play there, but again, if black were to move here, it would easily capture these 2 stones. So not advised, but it is legal. Now, can white play at position A in this case? And in this case, it cannot, right? If we put the white stone there, we see there are no liberties, and so this is not allowed. Okay, so now let's say it's white's turn. Can white go at A? The answer is yes, white can go at A, even though black, of course, can come along and then play right there, thus capturing all of these 3 stones. But it is possible for white to have gone at A before all of that happened. All right, for our last problem, what we need to answer is if white can play at position A. Okay, so you're white and you can play at position A. Though it might look like you're getting rid of all your liberties, what you're actually doing with white is you are capturing the black stones on the left there. And by capturing those left stones with that move, those stones gain these 3 liberties, and therefore it's totally legal and beneficial for you to move as white to point A.